While the war in Ukraine is happening on the other side of the world, our state is preparing for a worst-case scenario. Today, Russian forces say they took over the cities and land around the largest nuclear power plant in Ukraine and Eastern Europe. Last week, the Chernobyl nuclear site was also taken over by Russian troops. This is raising concerns about nuclear radiation and how it could affect us. Esther Bower is here to show us how the state is working to keep us safe. Esther.
Well, Aaron, even though we're all thinking about nuclear radiation more right now, monitoring our state levels in the air didn't just start when Russia invaded Ukraine. In fact, a team of about 75 researchers are testing how much radiation is in our air around the clock.
Take it very seriously.
That's how the man in charge of monitoring radiation in our state feels.
We're constantly monitoring air, soil, water, milk, any edible vegetation.
His team checks levels because radiation is always in the air, but it's not enough to cause concern.
There's always a small amount of radiation naturally in the background on Earth anywhere.
Over in Ukraine, however, radiation levels are higher in Chernobyl following Russia's takeover of the infamous Ukrainian city, the site of the worst nuclear disaster in history. But could those levels affect us here?
It's hard for me to imagine a scenario where what happens in Ukraine is going to directly affect our health here in the U.S.
Adam Fritsch is a physics professor from Gonzaga. We spoke with him while conducting research at a nuclear accelerator facility in Ohio. Work he's doing behind the scenes that's at the forefront now.
It's kind of hidden in normal circumstances, and at times like this, it becomes much more apparent. But it's something that actually does matter year-round.
It matters even more as refugees are fleeing the country. Since radiation levels are higher in some parts of Ukraine, Fritsch wants to debunk myths about how radiation spreads.
If someone from Ukraine was near an incident and then they traveled to the U.S., they're not going to spread anything.
He says radiation doesn't mutate like a virus and that our state is prepared for a worst-case nuclear scenario. And these radiation experts tell me since our state is monitoring levels proactively, they haven't increased sampling. Right now, they are making sure all their equipment is ready if things were to get worse. In studio tonight, Esther Bower, 4 News Now.